It's only human nature to pursue physical attractiveness. However, some people go to extremes in order to get the good looks they want. In fact, you might be struck dumb by how far they go. Some may even reach the point of sacrificing their health. For example, some deprive themselves of food to keep their weight down. Some even have stomach surgery to restrict their food consumption. Apparently, being skinny comes first for these people. Malnutrition and fatal side effects mean nothing to them. In addition to weight, height is another common worry. For people who feel they are not tall enough, one typical response is to wear shoes with high heels, but this isn't good enough for those who desperately want to be taller. Some of them undergo surgery to have their legs lengthened, which is especially astonishing because it is a terribly painful process that can require up to 1 year's confinement to a wheelchair. The operation itself involves breaking the legs, drilling holes in the bones, inserting metal rods into them, and finally, allowing new bone to grow in the gaps. Despite the great pain and the fact that the desired results cannot even be guaranteed, hundreds of people still persist in having this kind of surgery done every year. This endangers their health, and a number of them regrettably end up being crippled. Contemporary people are indeed concerned with their appearance. Nonetheless, it is not just in modern times that people have been obsessed with their looks and are willing to hazard their health as a result. In ancient Europe, people perceived dark skin as being unattractive and unappealing. Therefore, many ancient Greeks and Romans applied certain cosmetics to make their faces paler. Unfortunately, the makeup they applied contained lead. It probably never occurred to them that putting on such makeup would cause health problems such as sores and infertility. Today, though people are aware of this unpleasant fact, many still use a similar makeup to whiten their skin. In contrast to ancient times, darker skin is seen as more attractive than fair skin nowadays. As tan skin has become popular, some people go to tanning salons frequently or take tanning pills to keep up with this fashion. However, people don't realize that these methods have injurious consequences. First, artificial tans are often achieved with the use of tanning beds, and the use of tanning beds has been linked to skin cancer. According to recent scientific research, using a tanning bed more than once a month increases the risk of contracting skin cancer by 55%. Second, tanning pills contain certain additives that are dangerous even for short-term use. These drugs can cause an itchy rash to develop all over the skin and may lead to certain eye disease as well. What's worse, tanning pills can bring about liver damage. No matter how they choose to do it, getting an artificial tan might eventually cost them dearly. It's reasonable for us to try different ways to improve our appearance, since looking good can strengthen our confidence and even make us more cheerful. Yet, we must keep in mind that excluding the often perilous measures for becoming more attractive, there are still multiple other ones that we can take advantage of, including getting the proper amount of exercise and sticking to a balanced diet. After all, what's the use of being physically attractive if we are not healthy, or even alive, to enjoy it? When I visited the Taj Mahal, the harmony of the design was so unique that I was struck dumb with amazement.
Once again, I was dumb enough to believe what Shane had told me. He loves to trick people by making up untrue stories.
The surgery is being done to put a medical device into Mr. Street's heart to keep his heartbeat normal. In Kyoto, the government has restricted the height of all new buildings to 31 meters or less. Although wearing shoes with high heels makes the wearer seem taller, it makes walking difficult.
The correct way to walk is to strike your heel instead of your toes to the ground first with each step.
After undergoing a lengthy process of rehabilitation, Hazel eventually recovered from her severe burns. The acrobats jumped from one swing to another at a great height. Their performance was truly astonishing. The worker's thumb was cut off by the machine. He needed an emergency operation to sew it back on.
The operation of the new printer is very smooth. The users don't have to worry about paper jams.
To make the bookcase, you first have to drill holes in these wooden boards. Insert a coin into the video game machine and you will be able to play the game. A lightning rod can protect buildings or statues from lightning strikes. The salesperson guaranteed that this shampoo would fight hair loss. However, I doubted its effectiveness. Nelson quit smoking because he believed that secondhand smoke could endanger his children's health. Curtis was seriously injured in the car accident. Ever since then, he has been crippled. The students are discussing how some contemporary authors, like Dan Brown, give young readers new interpretations of everyday life through their works. Taking too much of an over-the-counter medicine can hazard one's liver and kidneys. Although Lena Maria has only one leg and no upper limbs, she has always perceived herself to be an ordinary person.
Some colorblind people cannot perceive the difference between red and green.
The bus passenger felt dizzy and turned pale because of car sickness. Wilbur spent days at the beach and got very tan. His skin is much darker now. Peter takes a vitamin pill every day in order to stay healthy. Smog has been proven to be injurious to people's health. It can cause shortness of breath and even lung disease. More than 8,000 people in Taiwan contract liver cancer each year, and most of them die from this disease.
Since the writer has been contracted to write a novel, he has to fulfill his obligation and finish it on time.
The mosquito bite was very itchy. I couldn't help but scratch it. Brad loves all water sports, so it is reasonable to assume that he loves diving too. Roger greeted everyone he met with a big smile and a cheerful look. He seemed to be in a good mood. Dining in that fine restaurant will cost you at least 3,000 NT dollars, excluding the 10% service charge. In 1963, Mrs. Fisher had a multiple birth. Her babies were the first quintuplets born in the USA to survive.